Guys, it's Shauna with Just Try to Be Nice, and I'm here with my assistant Haley. We are making a pallet garden in my backyard. This is my backyard. See, that's my backyard. I know it's kind of messy, sorry. And this is my fence and where I'm going to put my pallets. Now, normally my backyard doesn't get any shade at all. It's like a dry desert back here, and any plant that I plant just dies. But we have kind of let these, I don't know what they are, trees, evergreens, fir trees. We've kind of let them overgrow a little this year, so it creates shade right here by this doghouse that never gets used, and the trellis where my dead cat is buried, and the disc golf course, or the disc golf goal. Right along this area, there's about 3 feet of solid shade until about 12 o'clock in the afternoon, which, you know, from 12 to 3, you're expected it to be pretty hot. So I've got some plants that I can plant here. And so what I've got is, I've got my 2 pallets. I've got my 2 pallets, and these are just pallets that I found in the garbage. They were not, you know, there's nothing fancy about them. They're just plain old pallets. And then I have 2 kids' twin sheets, and these are sheets that my kids don't like. There's nothing wrong with them except that they have monkeys on them, and my kids don't like monkeys. So what you do is you take the sheet and you put it on the bottom of the pallet, and then you like nail the corners, so that way your dirt doesn't fall out on the sides, and bugs and stuff weeds have a harder time getting in, because that way only the soil that you put into the pallet is the soil that's there. So I've got 2 twin sheets. I've got hammer, nails. I've got 2 giant things of Miracle Grow gardening soil. I don't know how big they are. They're really big though. And then I have 8 roses that I got at Aldi, and every one of those roses was either $4 or $2, because for 1 week they were 4 and I bought like 3, and then the next week I went back and they were 2, so I bought like, I don't know, 5 more. And then, because I had bought 1 for each of my kids, but then I went back and they were only $2 a piece, so I was like, I'm going to spend $10 and buy me some roses, because I love roses. They're beautiful, and they're funny, and they're pretty, and they just make me smile. And then the other things that we're going to be planting are in the pallets, because the roses can't go in the pallets. The roses are going to go in these. What you do is, it's empty, it doesn't have litter in it. You poke some holes in the bottom, and then you fill this with soil, and then you put this into the ground just like this. You just dig a hole, and then you put it right into the ground. And these are going to go in front of where my cat is buried over there, because some of these roses are for her memorial. And then I have some spaghetti squash seeds, and these spaghetti squash seeds, I literally just pulled them out of a spaghetti squash. So, you know, they haven't dried like the other ones, but it doesn't really matter if they're dry or not. So I'm going to try to plant those. And then I've got pepper seeds. I did a video a couple weeks ago on how to save your peppers, how to save your seeds. And these are all the peppers that I used in the winter. And there's green pepper, yellow pepper, red pepper, little peppers, big peppers, just all different kinds of peppers in here. And I mix them all up because it's way more fun for the kids that way. It's not like a line of green and a line of red. It's like a sea of different types. And I do the same thing with all of my melon seeds. Like, these are all my melons. And there's cantaloupe, honeydew, and watermelon mixed in there all together. And these seeds will actually cross hybrid with each other. So you'll end up with canter melon and honeylope and waterlope and different types where it looks like a watermelon on the outside, but when you cut it open, it's cantaloupe. And that happened 2 years ago when I did this in Florida, so that was lots of fun. So I have all those seeds, and then I have some more. These are just cantaloupe and honeydew seeds I've got saved in a different container and dried. And then these are just fresh bell pepper, because I just cut up a bell pepper for my dinner just a few minutes ago. So I'm going to add these. Even though they're fresh, it doesn't matter. They're still going to grow just as easily as if I dried them. So there's the seeds and the dirt. Oh, and then this right here to the side, this here, it's a grapevine. So I'm going to plant him too. I don't know if he'll grow or not, but I'm going to plant him on the other side of my fence. So it's part 1 of my pallet video. This is how I start my pallet garden. And this is like part 1 of a probably 5-part video. So here you go. And I'll come back once I've got the pallets and the sheets on them. And I'll come back once I've got them filled with dirt. So I will talk to you later, and I will see you in a minute. Bye.